no secret sauce to internet marketing. There's no guru. Anybody calls themselves a guru is an idiot. There's no secret sauce. You just follow the things that you're told to do and it works. And so if you're honest with people and you share the information and help them build their business, they're going to come back to you anyway. And so that's how people find us.
Welcome back to the High Ticket AI Systems podcast. Everyone, please welcome the one and only Mr. Dave Wade. Dave, how you doing today, my friend?
Really good, really good.
Absolutely. We're happy to have you on. Now, first and foremost, we're all curious. What's your offer and who is it for?
What's my offer? Oh, that's different depending on what industry I'm talking with. Our offer is just real results. It's kind of our niche that people like about us and reason people stay with us is because we're not just looking at clicks. We don't care about clicks. You know, if you have 10,000 clicks, you're not getting a damn phone call. Who cares? Right. And so we track calls, we track conversions. We're saying, okay, hey, yeah, you got clicks, but hey, what's your phone calls at? And then we can turn back on the client. I actually did that today. It was really funny. One of my clients, he had 97 calls and he only answered 46 of them. And I said, hey, you've been busy, but you're not answering. He's like, well, I answer them. I said, no, here's the 40, you only answered this many. He's like, oh, so now I got him a calling service here locally that he has to use so he can answer those calls because he's just too busy and he's doing the right thing. You can't answer a call in front of a client, right? But get someone to answer the damn phone.
Mandatory.
I'm bringing people to the door and you're just not opening the damn door.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our thing is it's calls, not clicks is kind of our thing.
I like that. So it sounds like you predominantly do LSA ads or you create funnels for home service businesses and the funnel is a call funnel.
We do a little bit of everything, right? So we do organic SEO and local SEO is our prime. Then we do Google ads, LSA ads, we do meta ads. We do go high level as well. So depending on what the client wants is what we'll do. Some people just want the phone to ring. And so when somebody starts out, say it's their first time doing marketing, we just want the phone to ring, right? We'll still put a tracking number so we can track it. And then when we get to the part of, hey, now the phone's ringing and I'm not answering, we'll say, well, hey, let's hook up go high level. So when that phone rings, you're getting a text to you that says, hey, this phone called, you call this person, that's their name. Okay, now let's hook up go high level to when they got the phone call, it texts that person back, say, hey, we're on the other line, we're gonna call you right back. And let's lead capture their information and put them down the phone. So we can do all sorts of different levels. Our bread and butter is when someone's searching for you, get found. Like I am an SEO guy, I'm a local SEO guy. And it's on different levels, right? Because I work with B2B, B2C, and B2G, which is government. I've been dealing with a lot of that recently, which is interesting too. So.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about that. Talk to us about how you first got started owning an agency. I guess what prompted that.
Oh, okay. You know what's funny? In my degree, I went to school for athletic training.
Oh, no way. Nice.
Yeah. And so I'm a big guy. I lift. Like I do a lot of things, right? So I went to school for athletic training. What?
We can tell you lift. No, you're definitely jacked, bro.
And my minor is nutrition. So I'm in school and I need to make money because I get married. I need to make money. So my buddy's working for a yellow page company. So I go start selling yellow pages. Never sold anything. I didn't think I could sell anything. I win the President's Club multiple years in a row. I'm getting all these trips and I'm liking it. I'm doing really good. I'm like, okay, I guess I can sell shit. But the nice thing is I'm going back and it's self-serving because these clients are growing, and it's just yellow page ads. This was back in 2004 to 2008 because we started this company in 2008. So back in 2004, yellow pages were already starting to die off, but they're still having great results. And so there's these companies that are growing and they're saying, Dave, I've increased revenue this much. Like, thank you so much. Let's do a bigger ad. Let's do things. And it wasn't the bigger ad. I mean, obviously I wanted the money, but they were growing and they became this relationship that you're part of their team. And that's something I kind of craved. And so got into SEO. My dad is a doctor and he had this big family practice, right? His huge family practice. And he started doing aesthetics on the side. And he's like, hey, let's market this aesthetics. Let's do this med spa. And I said, okay, well, let's look at it. And that wasn't working yellow pages. I knew which categories worked in yellow pages, which one didn't. That definitely did not work in yellow pages. So let's look at SEO. And I knew some of the companies that did SEO and I didn't. And we're looking at $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month. I'm like, holy shit, that's too pricey. And he said, yeah, I'm just starting this. And so we found training. I got some training in Bruce Clay International, which is SMX, which I was just talking about, right? Bruce Clay is the place to go to. Went through the training, started applying it to his stuff, built the site, and he exploded. He grew really fast. And with the work that was coming into him, other people started seeing that work that was his friends from the city area. And were saying, hey, I want you to do what you're doing. So they started canceling my Yellow Page ads. So forcing me to force my hand in that. And it's bigger growth. And you see the companies grow even more and more and more. And I've had companies sell out to bigger companies right in front of us. And so that's the part I got into it for is, yes, there's money. Yes, it changes all the time. And I have an ADD mind, so I want to change all the time, which is what search does. But the biggest thing is I really like to see those clients grow. I really like to see their companies grow and their families grow. I have clients I've gone to Alaska deep sea fishing with. You become part of their, not necessarily the family, but part of their team. And and so that's one of the reasons why our business model too is we're exclusive. So if I'm working with, say, a chiropractor in this area and he only pulls from like a 10-mile radius, I'm not going to talk to another chiropractor. It's usually like 15. I'm not going to talk to another chiropractor in that 15-mile radius because he's my guy. Like, he's my team. I'm not going to let anybody else infiltrate our thing, right? So that's been our business model because of that same thing.
So many keynotes, man. Thank you for the context here. First and foremost, what happened with the dad's family practice after you blew it up? Did he sell?
His family practice was already huge. Like, okay. He had the biggest billing family practice in Utah when he bought out his contract from the big companies. But he grew up, he blew up his med spa. He ended up having 3 full-time estheticians. Then he started doing implants and lipo and a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, it was a busy practice. It was awesome.
I think it's super cool how you helped your pops because, like, funny story. I actually helped my pops with like Outbound, which is what we do. He's an insurance agent, but he sells B2B, not B2C. So I help him with his business. And it's actually kind of fun giving back to your parents because like they helped you for so long. You know what I mean?
Well, and there's the other side of it too, right? So I wasn't great in high school, and and so it was him taking a chance on me to help me out also. So it kind of went both ways, and then his business grew, and then I grew, and so I owe everything I've learned to him. And the how I am now, of where I'm always trying to grow something, always trying to do something, is because I witnessed him. He was in the Army first, blew out 2 legs and blew out his knee and had surgeries, and then went to med school with 5 kids. And then went to med school residency with 5 kids. So I've seen it all. I've seen him work his ass off and then become this huge family practice doctor with multiple doctors underneath him. So I've had somebody to give me a roadmap, if you will. And then I just followed that roadmap, and he just was at that point when we were looking for something to do for him, he just happened to be that conduit for me to do more things. So it was actually really cool.
That's really inspiring, man. Yeah. He definitely instilled hard work in you. Let's see. Towards the end there, you said you don't want to partner with any other companies in a certain mile radius, and I think that's pretty fair to your client, right? Because it's kind of messed up to take on clients in the exact same area because they're now competing, and you could realistically probably only deliver great results for one of those 2 clients.
Right.
One of them eventually is going to churn, so why even take them on to begin with?
Right. And that's why we're not a niche market, right? There's companies that say, oh, we only do dental marketing. Well, why? There's only companies that do law marketing. And I get that, they think they're following the same thing, but every market's different. The keyword search is different. The modeling is different. The fan out's different. Everything's different. And so you can't just follow a cookie cutter approach. And so that's kind of one of the things. Like, if I have that company, they're my team. I'm not going to let anybody else and I'm competitive too, right? From sports and things like that. Like, nobody's infiltrating our company. This is us. Like, let's fight. Let's go. So,
and you and I definitely sound very similar. I'm sure you played sports in high school. You went to school for athletic training, performance training.
Yeah.
I thought about that. Didn't go down that route, but played elite level baseball for like 15 years. So definitely have that sports background in us. And one thing that you said that I definitely resonate with is like seeing results. Like, if you compete at an elite level, whether it's the gym, lifting, sports, business, you want to be the best. You want to see, obviously, your team win and your clients win. And the way you phrase it, they are part of the team. We are part of that company's team. So that definitely gets me fired up every single time. I'm helping not only, of course, my company grow, but like a whole nother company's them grow, their business grow, their family. I think it's super cool. On that note, how do you typically words? Let's talk about client acquisition for a second for internal. How do you guys typically find your clients?
What's funny is they typically find us.
Okay.
Which is it's awesome. People get referred. I mean, we do go to some, because we have clients that we've gotten that want us to go to different trade shows that they're at. we've went, and then people ask us to speak at those trade shows. So it's kind of grown and grown. And then when we speak, people come to us from trade shows. But yeah, typically they call us. A perfect example is, I'm not going to say the company yet because we haven't landed them, but we probably will. I was at a lighting expo in Orlando, and there's this big a lighting coach, landscape lighting coach here in Utah. His name's Ryan Lee, and people follow him, and he does a lot of stuff. And it's his conference. He invited us out, and so we were there. We did some breakout sessions, and we were just giving people free advice, right? Hey, your company does this. Like, you really need to change this on your website. Just free. I don't care. Like, take it as you will. Like, you're gonna come back to me if you find out I'm right. So we gave people all this free advice, and this one guy was taking drastic notes, right? So he went back to his franchise and said, I need this change, this change, this change. And then we heard nothing from him. Well, last week I get all these emails from all these people saying, hey, I talked to this guy, I talked to this guy, I talked to this guy. Everybody from that franchise is starting to call me. And it's like hundreds of locations. But it's because I gave them the information. And so they found me because I talked to somebody and I was real with somebody. Because that's the thing. If you give people all the information, because there's no secret sauce to internet marketing. There's no guru. Anybody calls themselves a guru is an idiot, right? There's no secret sauce. You just follow the things that you're told to do and it works. And so if you're honest with people and you share the information and help them build their business, they're going to come back to you anyway. And so that's how people find us.
Very interesting. The purple book behind me here talks about that exactly, where you give away all the knowledge for free. You sell the implementation. There's two types of people. Person A is going to take the knowledge that you just shared and try to do it themselves. I'm not that guy. I'm going to take the knowledge you gave me and say, you're definitely the expert, and then pay you the money that you deserve to execute on my behalf.
Well, I'd actually say there's three, right? There's one that's going to do it and just run with it. Then there's one that can do it, run with it, and realize, hey, I'm spending too much money on this, too much time on this. So now that I've seen it, I know how it is, I trust him, right? And then there's one that says, hey, he knows everything, I'm just going to give it to him. So that's my idea. Is there's three, but yeah, I think I know which book you're talking about.
Yeah, the offers book back there, but yeah. No, exactly. And I think a lot of people, these online gurus, they try to withhold information, and it's actually shooting themselves in the foot, because how you build trust in the marketplace is by showcasing your expertise, is by getting free game out there, So kudos to you.
Well, because if a business is busy enough, take any business, right? If the HVAC contractor is busy enough, he's not going to have time to do the work anyway. And so he wants somebody he can trust to do it. Now I've already talked to him, so now he knows where to go.
Right. And then in regards to other forms of acquisition, do you have any systems for outbound or for inbound, like Google or Meta ads?
Every once in a while we will, when we're going to one certain area to target that area or to target that industry. But other than that, we don't, because we've done them and we have to turn away a lot of clients. Right. So, because we've done like AI models to where we've done calls, where we've done email nurturing, where we've done drip campaigns, we bought lists, we've tried them, but literally we have to turn away a lot of people because of that model of ours. Hey, we only do one person per industry per area. And so it kind of gets frustrating, and then they get frustrated too. You'd be surprised, like you give somebody information, they want to work with you, and then you say, now I can't work with you. It's kind of frustrating both sides.
No, for sure. But even more so on the prospect side, it's like, whoa, I'm offering to give you money and a business is turning me down. Like, I never turn down a client, but it's like, well, for one, we want to make sure you're the right fit and we can actually deliver results on your behalf. If you're not ready for us to work with you, we're not going to waste even our time on that matter. And then number two, the exclusion that you have with one client per city makes total sense. Were you finding that a lot of the channels you did utilize brought in unqualified leads, they simply weren't ready? Or was it more so they were already in your service area that you already had?
It was a little bit of both, right? Because the lists, and whichever model you're using, right? And we tried a couple different ones. They're not exactly when they're ready to buy. You kind of hitting them, they're not ready to buy, or you're kind of giving them information. And then there are the ones that are ready to buy, but they have no funds. And then there's the group that are ready to buy, have the funds, ready to rock. I can't help you. So it's kind of a little bit of everything. But that's why I have account managers. We actually have another branch in another state up in Idaho now. We see clients nationwide, and they literally just refer us. We'll go to certain trade shows that our clients are at, and mainly it's to go be with our clients, right? But we'll speak, or we'll have a booth, and we'll just talk to people there, and our clients will bring people over. Oh, you got to meet this guy. Oh, you got to meet this guy. And so we're like, oh, okay. And then they happen to not be in an area, and so we do that. And then, for instance, I have one client that he was introduced by somebody else, and then he has 4 companies, in 4 different verticals, and now each of those verticals are referring to us. And so,
Do you no, it makes total sense. It's like if I'm already busy as hell, if I have to hire more staff strictly based off of a freaking referrals, why pay for ads or pay
yeah.
for ads? It makes total sense. That said, how many account managers like do you have both split up between Idaho and here?
Well, see, we manage some accounts. Me and my business partner manage some accounts, and then we also have 4 account managers here, and then Idaho has the 2.
Okay.
So each one can manage about 30 accounts. Our big things, we want you to either meet with them in person or via like this every single month to find out what's going on, to show them what's happening. And we like being blunt with them. Hey, your traffic dropped, but not on the homepage. The homepage, like, let's look what's going on. And if you don't have that monthly meeting and letting them know what's going on, that you actually see what's going on, 3 months down the road, they're like, hey, I don't think they care, and I'm not seeing my phone ring. I'm just going to cancel. And so we're there monthly with them saying, here's the highs, here's the lows, here's what we think. What do you think?
I think when it comes to, having an amazing client success team, number one priority is results, right? If
Mm-hmm.
they pay me 3K a month, my job is to deliver more than 3K worth of monetary value.
Right.
The second priority that I think a lot of companies forget is what you just touched on is, showing our client that we care outside of just revenue, having that weekly or monthly cadence for
Mm-hmm.
one-on-ones, giving them, I don't know, gifts on their company anniversary or birthday, just letting them know that we're thinking of you guys. You guys obviously matter to us. And it's the small things, right? It can be like a freaking $10 gift that you actually thought of them, not like an Amazon gift card, not
Yeah.
gift card, like a little small gift,
Yeah.
like that shit right there goes such a long way to their memory, to like the care that they have for you as a vendor. So that's something that I had to learn the hard way, because I would deliver results for clients, but they were still like, no, thank you. I feel like we maxed out everything we could. I'm like, we are still growing like month over month. Like we're actually still delivering results. I'm like, why would you want to leave? But what I found out is it's that part. I did not show that I cared about them. So lesson
Mm-hmm.
learned. I do have a quick question again. Why 2 offices if you do work nationally?
It just happened to work out. So one of our guys that was with us, and it's really funny because it's a funny story. He was actually my boss at Yellow Pages,
Okay.
and so now we're his boss.
Right,
Uh,
right. Tables have turned.
but he's a good guy, and he started selling for us, and we did commission bases, and we started working for him selling and account managing. And his father passed, and his land was available up in Idaho, and he said, "Hey, I want to move up to Idaho." And we said, "Okay, hey, let's do this. Let's work it to where you can almost like a partnership model. This is how you can earn partnership. Like, let's get to this level. Let's do some things." And so now he's grown up there to where he has a writer in house up there. He has a data entry SEO specialist up there. Now he's got another writer. He's hiring a second writer now. He also has one account manager and him up there. So, and that's the other thing. We don't outsource anything. I could save a ton of money if my payroll wasn't as high as it was. I could make a lot more money, but we don't outsource anything. So if someone wants to talk to their developer, someone wants to talk to one of our copywriters that's working for them, or they're anybody, they can literally call here and talk to them. And that goes a long way, right? So it's not, hey, can you tell your guy to fix this? I'm like, actually just bring Max in here. Let's have him talk to you. So
I think that is so important to have all of the customer facing people on your staff to be in house, where if someone wants to speak with them, they can speak with them.
mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Like I definitely have VAs that do little shit that never have to speak with the client just because like they just don't need to. It's cheaper, it's faster, whatever.
Yeah.
But for the client success team, the copywriter, the developer, the actual account manager have to be in house. They obviously have to know what the hell they're talking about. That's vitally important. And thanks for the context there on the 2 offices. When it comes to working with B2G,
Mm-hmm.
we have yet to have anybody on the pod that works with B2G. So how the hell did you manage to get into this? What are you even doing with the government?
So this is the other company, right? And it feeds us. Like we'll do some websites. Like we did a website for US and Djibouti, which is off the Horn of Africa. We did a website for them, right? I'm actually fly fishing with 18 delegates from Kazakhstan this Sunday, so that'll be fun too. Just random stuff. But I got in. There's a guy that I networked with before, and I'm ex-military myself. The guy I networked with before, he reached out to me and said, "Hey Dave, I'm going to DC with this group, and we're going to talk about internet laws. And I think you'd be better at this than any of us. We're all business owners, but you actually do it." and talk about taxing Google ads and things like that, right? And the American bill and a bunch of other stuff. And so he brought me to DC so I went with him, and I talked to all these congressmen, I talked to all these senators, and it actually went really well. And then I got back, and it's funny because in these military and these government things, people talk kind of bigger than they are. And so we went on this news show, and after, and kind of talked about things there. And then he started introducing me to people with other big groups. Hey, this is my mentor, and he's a nationally recognized speaker. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm not a nationally recognized speaker. I've spoken. So he got me in with another group, with another guy. We have now with this group, it's called Black Star Syndicate. We went to the Zero Gravity Summit, and then a bunch of guys from SpaceX were in town. We actually were in a VIP tent with one of them, from the guy who does, it's a big show here in Utah. It's actually funny. They talk about the waves. What is it called? I suck at this. It's a part where the energy waves are different on eastern Utah. And so it's kind of by like Skinwalker Ranch, something like, so they say there's like alien activity and some of that stuff. And it's actually out in Utah. And so these guys were there that night too. And we met with a bunch of other guys. And then, so they started getting this group and said, okay, hey, what we need is a group that can have go-to-market strategies for aerospace. Well, aerospace plays right into defense. And so we have this company, we help with go-to-market strategies for aerospace and defense. We have cybersecurity, we have a bunch of things like that. We have another guy on our membership board now, John. He was a ex-recon door kicker. His website's War Inc. And he works with armaments and warheads and things like that. And so just because of these networking and getting together and doing things, we built this team. So one person can do government procurements, one person can do international contracts. We have an SEC attorney, we have a CFO, and we have the marketing arm, which is me. And so that's how this all came about, and it's just kind of blown up ever since. And so I don't try to take from, because this is my baby, this is my company, right? Me and Victor started this company, this is ours. And so I tried to feed here. And so we've done some crazy websites, like the War Inc. website. If you ever go look at war.inc, that's a crazy website. US Djibouti, like I said, that one. We do stuff for like terrorism. So there's these other entity companies that we never talked to that don't work B2C. They're more B2G. And so that's because of these relationships I built and giving them free knowledge. And back to the free knowledge, right? Elijah was in a networking thing with me. I talked to him. I was helping him with with actually a law firm he was consulting at the time. Said, hey, let's do this. They just did it. And he followed suit with everything I told him. I didn't charge him. And that estate planning attorney blew up. And that estate planning attorney just happened to be a congressman's son. And so everything just kind of went crazy from there. So
as long as you, like you said, give free value, deliver results, do things that you said you're going to do, good things happen to you. Right. I'm not going to lie. I'm not the biggest networker. It's not that I'm anti-social. I mean, I have a freaking podcast.
I'm not either.
But I have to speak. I just feel like I don't make the time for it. So I want to propose a question is, do you like actively set out time throughout the month to go out to networking events or conferences?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm getting better at it. I've been to some cool, like Warrior Ride, I've been to some cool events. The other guy that does the Black Star Syndicate with me, and now he's a reseller for us. He's a business growth development person for us because I brought him in-house here too. He is the networking nut. Like, he knows everybody. You want something done, this guy knows everybody. He has a Rolodex. Like, he knows people in DC, he knows people in Nashville, he knows people all over the world. And that's who I'm on this Black Star with. And so he does this stuff. And so he'll like, hey, we're having this conference on AI. And I'm like, that's not going to relay into things. I got a coach. That doesn't help my business. He's like, I'm going to die on this cross. You're going to be here, Dave. You're going to be here tonight with me. You're not getting out of it. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, fine. So I go with him, and it's always a good experience. Elijah's like one of the greatest guys. It's just like, it's out of my wheelhouse, right? Just kind of like you said. And so I'm getting better at it. But in fact, the reason I started doing podcasts is because him, and also Andrew Frisella. Like, I'm a big Real AF listener, right? And so one of the things he said one day is, hey, put yourself out of your comfort zone. I hate talking in front of people. And I said, okay, I'm going to start saying yes to talking in front of people. So I went to DC. And then because of DC, then I went and spoke in Nashville. And then because of that, I went and spoke here. And then I started doing all this other stuff. And so it's kind of opened me up. I now say yes. And things open up because of it. So there you go.
I'm not trying to get philosophical, but the one thing about, I don't want to say confidence, but public speaking is you have to use the skill that you currently have in order to grow that specific skill. So public speaking for me, I freaking suck at it. I definitely try to get better with podcasts, but getting back to the only way I can actively become better is by actively speaking in
Right.
public. So kudos to you for getting outside your comfort zone. This is a personal question, but how much do you bench, bro?
I haven't maxed I just recently maxed because my son, who's a big wrestler and football player, blew out his ACL, and they just let him start lifting again with me. And so we went up the gym, and I did 380, and so I'm not as much as I used to be. I was at 450 probably about 5 years ago.
Is that like 4 plates, 4.5 plates?
It's,
The bar's bending and shit.
the bar bends at 405, which is 4 plates each side. That's when the bar naturally bends, just so you know.
Hey, oh
but it's funny because it's all relative, right? Because when I played, before I had kids, I played adult little league football. They call it semi-pro. I just call it little league, whatever, for adults. And I was with all these guys, and these guys were massive. There's this one guy named Tractor. If you ever look up Tractor Baptist online, he played with us, and the guy squats, I think, 1,300 pounds. He has one of the world. He's in the Dirty Dozen, the strongest squats in the world. And the guy's a monster. Like, he's a monster. He played line. There's another guy named Nate Wilkins that he played. He played for Ricks and then Weber State. He played line, and we'd go lift in the Stewart up at Weber State at the time, and he'd get skull crushers. Everybody gets the 100-pound dumbbells and they bench press and everything, and nope, he skull crushes the damn things, and people leave.
Right.
And then my other friend Zach that we used to live with, he is the head strength conditioning coach for one of the CrossFit things here. He still posts videos of him doing these crazy Olympic lifts, and we're all older dudes, and he's still doing it. I mean, I just turned 50 and I'm still benching 380, so I guess that's okay. But like these guys make me look like a pansy ass. These guys are massive, strong individuals that somebody says I'm strong. Like, no, I'm not strong. You haven't seen me strong.
Right. And another personal question, if you don't mind. So I battle with that. We already covered this, but love sports. I love working out. I feel like I get so caught up in business and working and delivering on, said things, whether it's just business activities. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of neglect working out. Did you ever go through that when you were in the earlier stages within your business?
Yes.
Yeah. Talk to me.
Yes. I got to over 300 pounds. And so, yeah, and I was so unhealthy. I had cancer once. Like, I had to fight cancer back in the day. So yeah, you get really busy and you neglect yourself because you're grinding, especially when we first started this company. But yeah, now you can actually be more successful if you do plan out, prioritize things. So go read. So once again, Andy Frisella, and I'm like you. All my books are over here. Like if I turn, I have books over here and books over here. I read physical books. But there's a power list done by Andy Frisella, and who's the other guy that was with him? I went and saw him at Limitless. They spoke. There's another guy that I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but they did this MF CEO project thing that was back in the day. Now he does really often. There's a power list, and what it does is you pick 5 tasks every day, and you have to cross all those tasks. And you can pick the same task every day until you've done it for like 3-4 weeks. Then it's a habit. So then you add another task, right? And it could be something dumb as waking up on the first alarm at 5 a.m. or whatever, 6 a.m. But that power list, if you start doing that checklist, and I'm an ADD guy, so I need a checklist anyway. Right. So I've always had a loose checklist, but now I have this 5 things I have to get done every day. And so I put that list, and if I don't get them done, they're tasking my phone. I have to stay up late and get it. So my wife's made fun of me sometimes because I'll have to go, shit, it's midnight. I got to go get on the elliptical. Sorry.
Right. No, but those are the non-negotiables. Like those actually do so much more than just benefit you physically. It's like, no, I'm adding discipline to my repertoire. I'm keeping the discipline I currently have, and I'm growing that skill. And you also gain a fuckload of self-respect for yourself. Like it was midnight and I'm fucking on the elliptical,
And as a father, like, so now my son, now he's a freak athlete anyway, but he goes and lifts with me. Now he's eating better. And so other people start seeing stuff. And then my oldest son, who's like the brainiac that doesn't do stuff, all of a sudden he's having me wake him up at 6:30 in the morning to go running. Okay. It's like, so they see things. So you're kind of setting examples as well, because, and that's one of the biggest things. I have a buddy running for Weber County Commissioner, and he's the same as me. And he says, you don't realize who's watching. Like, do your shit, and other people. That's how you build a better world, is you control your world, and the worlds around you will start getting better.
Oof. When you raise, I don't know, your awareness, your vibration, the people around you naturally raise theirs. I'm a
exactly.
Well, yeah. Your son, not the eldest, but the one that's a freak athlete, high school or
Yeah.
college?
So he's high school. So he's a 10th grader this year, so he's a sophomore. Um, his last year he was wrestling. He lost in the blood round to place for 6A state as a 9th grader.
Damn.
So he's good. He's 165 pounds last year. This year he's 175 pounds. He broke his elbow, so he had to work his way back up to football, like to where he was in the set. He was back up. So he's the slated starting running back for the next 2 years for the high school. He's also a linebacker, and he's also one of the top 2 wrestlers in the school. We have another really good wrestler who moved in, so him and Kale are top 2. But this year, because he blew his ACL, he couldn't wrestle in state. It was like 4 weeks away from state. And in the state championships, the top 4 kids that were in the semifinals, he had already beaten 3 of them. I was like, son of a. But he's only a sophomore, so it's okay. He's got 2 more years. But
yeah, he definitely has time to grow. Do you know which one he likes more, wrestling or
100% football?
Yeah.
Literally, he's told me many times, and the wrestling coach hates it because the wrestling coach loves Ryder. But he's told me many times, and because we've seen it, I wrestle to get better for football.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the correlation?
Your body control.
Okay.
And here's a funny story, right? So I coach Little League, and my oldest son, that's one, because I'm a football guy. I coach the youth, and my son, I'm coaching with him, and all those studs at the high school now are kids that played football with my oldest son at the time. And he was awkward. He's very smart, but he could read an offense and get in the right spot, and then we're like, oh, Hudson's there, watch him get killed. but he could see it. He just didn't have the physical capabilities, right? So I wanted to make him better, and we were doing stats every game and every week and every season. The best tacklers are my wrestlers, kids that wrestle. So I'm like, well, Hudson, let's go get you in wrestling, right? So I get my sons in wrestling, and my middle son falls and just kind of follows. And so they're doing practice and stuff. And I throw him their first tournament. Okay, here we go. He gets the shit kicked out of him. We're talking bloody nose. Like he just loses everything. And he's like, I don't like that. I'm like, you know what, buddy? You gave it your best. You don't have to wrestle. Well, meanwhile, my other son's kicking the shit out of everybody else. And so he ends up winning. So he has this natural ability to wrestle. And he's built, and he's like 5'9", 175 pounds, and just jacked as a 10th grader.
Right.
And he's fast. That's the other thing. So he's a good running back. So because of wrestling and the hip control and the movement and your awareness in space, he's really hard to tackle. And it freaks people out. You see this kid coming at you, and you think you can tackle him, all of a sudden you're on your back. You're like, what the hell just happened? Or he planted a foot, you went one way, and he went the other way. Mm-hmm. It's fun to watch.
Does he have aspirations to play in the league one day?
His aspirations are college first, but yeah, that obviously we all dream of being in the league, any league, right? And you with baseball at the time, right? And so yeah, he does dream of that, but he's realistic. He knows, hey, what? And that's the other thing, because people look at him for wrestling too. Is like, what will get me into college? And if I could play sports in college, even better.
That's the thing, man. I fucking wasn't. Excuse my language. I wasn't realistic, dude. Like I was really talented. Like definitely, other people told me I was talented. I'm like, I'm going to the league. Like I'm playing baseball. That's what I'm going to do. You know, injuries happen. Little did I know, injuries are fucking probable, and just kind of suffered a long, long ego death. And obviously, we're back now, but I wish I had that growing up. I guess back to business. Where do you see the future of business with AI? I know you just got back from a teaching engagement and you learned a lot. Someone from Anthropic was there. So I guess how does that correlate into agencies like us? Should we be scared? Should we utilize it? What's your feedback and thoughts for us there, man?
It's just like everything else. I mean, how many times I've been in SEO since 2008, and it's really funny. I was at MozCon a couple years ago, and this guy named Will got up on the stage, and he's like, he played all these news reports. SEO's dead. You know, predictive search, SEO's dead. Ad extensions, long tail keywords, SEO's dead. Rich snippets, SEO's dead. All this thing, and he gets up. Guess what, motherfuckers? I'm still here. And it's right, because it's the next thing. You just have to read that next thing and embrace it, not go all in on it. This is where people are going. And it's really funny because the guys that I was on the training with, who, like I said, and I'm not going to say on here because I don't know if I'm supposed to, which group he was with, right? He said flat out, all the AI SEO software that say they can tell you where you're ranking, they're all bullshit. He's like, they're all waste of money. Don't use them. I'm like, oh, this is so nice to hear. But he said the same thing. He's like, AI is not ready to be all in. but people trust it too much, right? And so we test this. I was at a networking event and I said, hey, and it's actually my business partner asked this, how many people trust ChatGPT, which is one of the worst AIs, over Google? And everybody raised their hand. It was like 90% trusted it more than Google itself. And it's a training model. Like, it gives you wrong stuff all the time. It won't even admit it's wrong. I've sat in front of a person and said, hey, what's the fifth president? And it said this. And I said, no, I'm pretty sure it's Andrew Jackson. Oh, yeah, you're right. No, I'm not. Because it wants to fulfill the gaps, right? At least Claude and some of these others will tell you they don't have an answer, right? And people just trust it too much. But the nice thing is it does expedite things. Like, you can gather keyword lists and refine keyword lists as long as you're still checking them. And so the guys that I talk to and in marketing that are doing things the right way, they realize it's a great tool that still needs human interaction. The people who are rushing just to use the tool without human interaction, and there's a company I was doing pricing for when we were looking at reporting software, he flat out told me it's this much a month. I'm like, why are you charging that much a month? Because you fire your employees. Like, bullshit. Like, no, I don't trust AI that much yet. Right. It's getting it. And actually, so, I mean, if you look at it, you look at different cases where people they're injured because they researched something wrong on chat and they thought it was right. Like, there's one case where a guy was trying to do a salt cleanse and he went down the chain and started using, have you heard about this? He started using sodium bromide instead of sodium chloride. And it put him in the hospital.
Holy shit, no, I haven't got that. Right. Damn, dude.
Yeah, so I have cases after cases. But anyway, it is a really good tool. You just have to have human intervention. And so that's with SEO too, is like, we can use it and plug it to different things. You can plug Gemini to Search Console and analytics, and you can bring in your ranking reports, and you build agents and characterize them just on one client, and then get insights for the client. Because then it can say, hey, based on, and this actually happens, based on Search Console, you're getting visits for this page or queries for this page that are coming to your website, and you don't have this page. Why don't you write this page since people are coming for it? And so that's stuff you wouldn't see, right? And so it gives you some insights that are quicker. So it speeds up the human, but it doesn't replace the human.
Amen. I think that is the most important thing that you can probably say. AI gets us to like 80% completion, maybe 90% if it's really trained. It's not 100%. We still have to, like you said, put the human in the loop. The human can actually fix the errors because there might be one or two, whatever, and then we can upload it or execute whatever the mission is. But that right there, that single piece of speed is why AI is so powerful. It might take a human, I don't know, 5 days to one-shot something, right? Like, from start to finish, it can execute whatever the mission is. It might take 5 days in this example. But with AI, it can get you 80 to 95% there in a matter of an hour. And then the human can then execute the rest of the 5%. That's really what makes it so powerful, you know? Getting back to, so for my own SEO purposes, because I actually do a little bit for my own, would you recommend connecting that with Gemini? Like, connecting Gemini with Search Console and like having those talks?
And it's because I'm an SEO guy and I'm a Google guy. Google's the god of search, right? And we talked about this earlier. Claude does really well as well. Because Claude can connect as well. I just figured Google properties work better with Google properties, so that's why I do it.
No, and they do. They 100% would, right?
So I was pulling something up on here intentionally. Neil Patel, you follow him at all?
I know the name. I feel like I know.
So he does, he's a blog guy and he works on SEO things. He spoke to and actually did reports on exactly what we're talking about 100%. So he, in this whole article, if you go read the whole article, but this is the biggest part I want to say, AI content can be generated so much faster, right? You can get so much more content out, so much better content, not better content out. You just go so much quicker. But look at this. This is actually human content versus AI content and how long it gets traffic over time. Look at the blue. That's AI. Look at the orange. Human content still works better than AI content. And people are doing AI content left and right. And so it's really funny. My developer and I were talking about this one time. He's like, you know what's really crazy, Dave? He's like, AI content's not all there. We see mistakes, but people still put it out there. And all they're doing is remember the old adage, garbage in, garbage out, right? If we're using garbage AI content, and giving AI more garbage content to pick up, we're actually making AI worse. And so that I want to share that Neil Patel thing with you because it's exactly what we just talked about. The speed is there, but if without human intervention, you don't get the results.
Thank you so much for showing that. That gives us and the viewers amazing context there. So how do you guys, if you don't mind sharing insights here, how do you guys utilize AI for content and then with the copywriter in place that you guys have?
So without giving away everything,
Sure.
we write original content for every page, for every blog, for every city page. But if we're doing like projects, we do a lot of project pages, kind of like different models where we build this interface where clients can upload their pictures and give 2 sentences about what they did, square footage, white vinyl fence, whatever. And then it'll build and then put the address of this project they did. And then it'll automatically feed that project into a widget and a map inside those city pages that we created. I let that be written by AI because those will never be indexed. We've tried and those will never be indexed because it's such a, it's here's the URL, here's the service, here's the location, and here's these things within location. But it makes the location page rank higher because of all this information with geo-specific coordinates, right? Those we let write with AI because they can write better than us. And it interlinks and it silos, it does everything for you automatically with our different parameters we give it for SEO with rank math and things like that, right? We'll also use AI and long tail. We'll figure out which question being asked on AI models the most, and that's what we'll use for our FAQs as well. So we're embracing both sides. We're wanting traffic from both sides, or at least to be indexed from both sides because AI doesn't bring traffic yet. And that's one of the things. This is a crazy one. 93% of all AI sessions across every platform combined results in 0 clicks to a website.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
93%. So that means 7% of all AI queries whatsoever will ever go to a website. But the caveat to that is they convert 4 times higher than Google search.
Yes.
Because
the end market, go for it.
Yes, it's now the research model. Remember, Google used to be the research and the conversion model. Well, now AI, and that's why Google's embraced it too. AI is the research model with Google search still being the conversion model. So you have to embrace both sides. And that's how we do it.
Got you. I think we have time for 2 more questions, Dave. It's been an amazing conversation. Looking back over your career, what is one thing you wish you knew when you first got started?
I don't think probably when we talked about balance a little bit more and doing some other things, not just grinding work, and not looking at anything else. That's probably it. Because with how everything's changed so often, if I would have known something then, it would have changed anyway. So it wouldn't have done me any good. You can look at things, maybe I would have invested in different stocks or something like that. But there's not one thing that would have made me take a different path or expedite how I got to something, right? Because things kept changing anyway. We started this company in 2008 when everybody was folding. Right. It was a recession. People didn't have money. And those companies that advertised with us that grew during that time, some have sold to bigger companies. And so, I don't think there's one thing. It's just maybe the not focusing on work and doing some of the outside stuff that I'm doing now would have been better then.
That's something I have to do as well. And then, do you have any aspiration to sell the company one day?
If the right price comes, but and it's funny because this is where me and my business partner are different. And it's really funny because I see it with my dad now too, because my dad's retired and now he's bored as hell.
There's no such thing as retirement, brother. Not for people like us.
And I love it because he wants to spend more time with me and the kids. It's awesome, right? But I'm of the philosophy when you're not progressing, you're dying. You're either growing or dying at all times, yes. Right? And so I'm the type of person, if someone wants to buy this, I kind of hopefully they'll keep me around. If not, I'll start something different because I need to do something. We were in a networking group and somebody said, "What's your model of success?" And I was joking, but kind of serious at the time. I said, "Hey, I'm successful when I'm greeting people at Walmart." They're like, "What the hell?" And I said, "Well, I don't have to work, but I want to work. I want to get out there." That's a model of success, right? And my model here, since I have a business partner, I can go do things and he can go do things. I coach high school wrestling now because I can go do things and he can do things because of our balance of things. So, yeah. I hope that answered it.
That's awesome, Dave. And then last but not least, where can they find you if they wanted to ask you more questions about SEO or geo or anything like that?
You can reach out to me right through our website, performancemarketing.com or pdmutah.com. It just forwards to it. Email me at dave@pdmutah.com. I'm always open. I love to chat. I love to talk strategy. Like you see me get on tangents, and I'll say, oh, but there's this,
Yeah,
and that's what people like, and that helps people, right? Because at the end of the day, I help somebody grow, they're going to come back to me because they're growing beyond where they can't do it themselves anymore.
absolutely. Dave, again, it was a pleasure having you on, man. Thanks for all the insights, all the laughs. It truly was fun, man. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate it.
Audience, we'll talk to y'all soon.